My mother-in-law opened the front door, looked me in the eyes, and said, "You're not welcome in my house anymore." Then she shut the door in my face. My husband stood inside, watching everything happen. He didn't say a single word. I quietly walked back to my car and drove away. 9 months later, a fire destroyed half of her house. She had nowhere else to go. Then my husband looked at me and quietly asked, "Would you let my mother stay with us?" He had no idea what my answer would be. My name is Vanessa Carter. My husband is Nathan Carter. His mother is Elaine Carter. Nathan and I had been married for 6 years. From the day we got engaged, Elaine believed I wasn't the right woman for her son. Nothing I did ever impressed her. If I cooked dinner, she found something wrong with the food. If I bought thoughtful gifts, she called me fake. If I stayed quiet, she said I was arrogant. For years, I stayed respectful, not because she deserved it, but because Nathan loved his mother. Every Sunday the whole family gathered at Elaine's house. I never missed a dinner. I helped cook. I cleaned afterward. I even remembered everyone's birthdays. Still, Elaine introduced me as "That's Nathan's wife," never by my name. One Sunday everything changed. Dinner had just finished. Elaine stood up and tapped her glass, made a decision. Everyone looked at her. She looked directly at me. "I don't think Vanessa should come to family dinners anymore. I want family gatherings to be family only." Room became completely silent. Nathan looked shocked. His younger brother stared at the table. Nobody knew what to say. Elaine walked toward the front door, opened it, and looked at me. "I think it's time for you to leave." I slowly picked up my handbag. I smiled politely, then I quietly said, "I hope one day you never know what it feels like to hear those words." I walked outside. The door closed behind me. Nathan came home an hour later. He apologized over and over. "I should have defended you immediately." Simply replied, "You still have time to decide what kind of husband you want to be." The next morning, Nathan moved out of his mother's rental property. Within 2 months, we bought our own small house. It wasn't fancy, but it was peaceful for the first time. It truly felt like home. Months passed. We hardly heard from Elaine. Then one rainy night, Nathan received a phone call. His face changed instantly. His mother's house had caught fire because of an electrical fault. Most of the upstairs was badly damaged. The insurance company approved the claim, but repairs would take several months. Elaine had nowhere to live. Nathan looked at me. "I'll understand if you say no." I thought about everything that had happened. Then I answered, "She can stay. This house has one rule. Everyone who lives here treats everyone else with respect." Nathan smiled. When Elaine arrived carrying 2 suitcases, she looked uncomfortable. She expected me to reject her. Instead, I carried one of her bags inside. The first week was awkward. She barely spoke. Then she started noticing little things. Every morning, I packed Nathan's lunch before leaving for work. Every evening, I helped our elderly neighbor carry groceries. On weekends, I volunteered at a local food pantry. None of it was for attention. It was simply who I was. One afternoon, Elaine quietly asked, "Why are you being so kind to me?" I smiled. "Because kindness says more about me than it does about you." The first time in years. She had no reply. 30 days later, the family gathered at our house for Nathan's birthday. Everyone expected another tense dinner. Instead, Elaine stood up. She looked around the room, then she looked at me. I owe Vanessa an apology. Judged her before I ever gave her a chance. I told everyone she wasn't family. When I lost my home, she opened hers without hesitation. Tears filled her eyes. Never been more wrong about anyone. Room was silent. Nathan reached over and squeezed my hand. I smiled and simply said, "Everyone deserves a second chance." A few weeks later, Elaine moved back into her repaired home. Before leaving, she handed me a spare key. "This house will always be open to you." I accepted it, not because I needed the key, but because I knew what it represented. Sometimes, the strongest revenge isn't shutting someone out. It's showing them the kindness they never expected, until they finally understand what they almost lost.